back to my channel. Today I'm here with a huge fragrance haul, you guys. I've been buying perfumes non-stop for the past few weeks. In fact, I had to leave some of them for later for a different haul video. I just selected 10 for this video because I bought too many. So I also have 2 Dossier ones to share with you guys actually, and I got some really fun, exciting perfumes this time, you guys. So if you guys want to see what they are, keep watching. As you guys know, Dossier is a company that creates inspired by perfumes for really high-end luxury and designer perfumes. They've actually always had super close, very good dupes inspired by perfumes for very big designer brands like Tom Ford and Chanel. Now they've introduced super close dupes inspired by perfumes for super luxury niche brands like Byredo, Diptyque, and Creed. So they have some amazing stuff now, you guys, like they've added to their portfolio. I will actually be talking about those Diptyque and Creed and Byredo ones in a coming up video. But today I have 2 inspired by perfumes for a Chanel and a Tom Ford fragrance, you guys. I have tried so many inspired by brands. I don't want to name them. I have tried at least probably like 5 different brands. And I have upstairs a bunch of them that's sitting in a graveyard that I'm not really using. Whereas the Dossier ones that I kept, the ones that I really wanted to keep, like the ones that I don't have originals for or want a backup for, that I have upstairs, I use them, you guys, because they're so close to the original. You really don't have to buy the original and pay that high markup. Really, you guys, those famous designer niche brands, really what you're paying for is the name for the most part. I mean, the ingredients, yeah, the quality ingredients cost money, but not the price we are paying, you know what I mean? And like Tom Ford, for example, huge markups, like all these expensive niche brands, luxury brands, even designer brands like Tom Ford, Chanel, huge markups, you guys. And you can buy the Dossier version without the markup, really. Dossier sources ingredients from pretty much the same place as most of these fragrance houses, which is France. That's where the ingredients are coming from. So you're getting high quality ingredients without the high markup. Not to mention they're cruelty free, paraben free, and colorant free, UV filter free, all this stuff. I really do like the quality of Dossier fragrances. They have a really great risk-free system where you can order 5 perfumes and they come in boxes with the perfume and the little sample, and you can use the sample to test the perfume out, and if you don't like it, you just send it back and you keep the ones you want and you pay for those. That's it. So anyway, you guys, let's get to the 2 Dossier ones that I have here. I'm excited. So the first one I have here from Dossier is a dupe for, it's a Tom Ford. And it's a very famous Tom Ford. It is a Tom Ford that is very popular, and it is the first fragrance Tom Ford ever created. You want another hint? It was also the signature scent of, guess who? Michael Jackson. You guys know which one it is. It's Tom Ford Black Orchid, you guys. So I've been very curious about this for the longest time. So here's the Dossier dupe. It's called Spicy Orchid because it's definitely a fragrance that's slightly spicy. So here is the actual perfume and the little sample. So I don't have to even touch the original. I'm gonna test with the sample, and also, you guys, it comes with this information sheet where you get all the like notes, what it's inspired by, and concentration and how it works, all that information, which I think is really handy that they include this. So let's try this out. Okay, here we go. Spicy Orchid on my left. Oh, good heavens. Just got a huge whiff. It's got monster projection, by the way. Yeah, just like the original. You guys, I've tried the original at the mall, so I know exactly what it smells like. And this, oh yes, baby. Yeah, I mean, the moment I sprayed it, I'm like, that's Black Orchid. Maybe the only difference I'm noticing is that it's a little softer around the edges. You know what I mean? It's the same as Black Orchid, but it doesn't like punch you in the face. Yeah, this one is a little softer around the edges. The original Tom Ford Black Orchid, I think, you know, it's very much unisex. To me though, I think it smells better on women. But this one right here, the dupe, I think it leans even slightly more to the feminine side. Very strong in projection, just like Black Orchid, but the notes are a little softer around the edges, I feel. Come to think of it, the softer comes from some of the notes being missing. Like Tom Ford Black Orchid is super complex. The fragrance composition is very complex. It's got ton of notes in the top, in the middle, and the bottom. Whereas the Dossier version is very simple in the composition. And there are some notes missing here, like chocolate, for example. There's chocolate in the base in the original. And then there's like truffle in the opening of the original, which I think adds a little bit of a, you know, earthy, nice touch to the original. But you guys, when I said this is a little softer around the edges, that actually might be why this one is softer, because of the fact that some of those like sharper notes like chocolate, you know, truffle and all that stuff is missing. Like this one has like a very simple structure. The original is beautiful, but it can sometimes be a little bit too sharp for my taste. But I know there are people who just love Black Orchid, and I love it too. It's just that I prefer it to be a little bit softer around the edges. So in this version you get cinnamon, pink pepper, and mandarin orange in the opening. And in the original Tom Ford Black Orchid you get mandarin orange, but you also get other citruses like lemon and bergamot. This one it just has mandarin. And in the original, that one has ylang ylang and jasmine in the opening, which really, you know, that opening is really nice with that white yellow florals added to the rest of the top notes. The original truffle in it, there's gardenia and there's blackcurrant. So gardenia and blackcurrant are some of my favorite notes as well, you guys. Like, you guys know how much I love blackcurrant. It's that juicy fruit note that is amazing in the opening of fragrances. The ylang ylang is not in the opening in the Dossier version, it's toward the middle. In the Dossier version, actually, you get plum, you guys, which is also juicy like blackcurrant. So that kind of makes up for it. In the middle, there's plum in the Dossier version. There's ylang ylang in the middle in the Dossier version. And then there's orchid, just like the original. And the original has orchid, gardenia, and jasmine, and ylang ylang again in the middle. And there is lotus as well, I believe. And there's a bunch of spice notes. The Dossier version, in the base, you get sandalwood, vanilla, incense, and patchouli. The original Tom Ford has all of that, but on top of it, it has amber, there's musk, and there's chocolate. The chocolate kind of makes it a little dark and sharp in the base. I think the reason why the Dossier version is a little bit softer and more mass appealing, I think, is because the Dossier version isn't as earthy and as warm spicy as the original Tom Ford, and it has that chocolate accord in it too. But I think the Dossier version would agree with like more people. It's a little bit more mass appealing, like I said, softer around the edges. I mean, look at the juice color, you guys. Oh man, I love that juice color. This is Spicy Orchid, inspired by Tom Ford Black Orchid. So you guys, sometime in the middle of this video, I'm going to announce how to win this fragrance. So make sure to watch the video until the very end. So the next Dossier fragrance was inspired by none other than Chanel Chance, you guys. So right here I have Woody Hyacinth, which is inspired by Chanel Chance. Somehow the sample fell out of this box or something in the shipment when they were shipping, so there's no fragrance sample for this. I'm not gonna buy the original of this, you guys. I'm just gonna keep this version for myself, so works perfect for me. And by the way, I know how Chanel Chance smells because I've smelled it like a million times too. Oh my goodness, you guys, it smells exactly like Chanel Chance. This smells even stronger than Chanel Chance the original, because you know why? The concentration of this is actually eau de parfum, meaning higher oil concentration than Chanel Chance, which I believe is in eau de toilette. So it's lower oil concentration for the Chanel Chance, the original. This one is higher in oil concentration. So you're getting more for less. And it smells exactly the same, only this one smells even stronger and projects more, I feel. Because Chanel Chance, the original, is, I don't want to call it weak, but it's very light, you know, kind of dissipates on my skin right away, which is why I don't want to invest in it, you guys. I feel like a lot of the Chanel fragrances, you know, especially the Eau de Toilette concentration, even some of the Eau de Parfum, like it just like Chanel Eau Tendre, for example, they just kind of dissipate on my skin, you guys. They kind of disappear just in a couple of hours. So just like the original, this has pineapple and hyacinth in the opening, which are two crazy notes to be together. Pineapple is very tropical, fruity, and hyacinth is very powdery, purple, floral note, which really works well together. However, the lemon in this one is also in the top, whereas in the original, I believe it's in the middle. The original also had patchouli and pink pepper in the opening. This one has patchouli in the middle. In the original, you get rose, jasmine, and lemon in the middle, whereas in the Dossier version, you get jasmine, pink pepper, and patchouli in the middle. See, the original had pink pepper and patchouli in the top, right? This is in the middle, which I like because you guys, pink pepper is a gorgeous note. The more of it is the better. The longer it's going to last in the, you know, on your skin and clothes. So because it's in the middle, that pink pepper is even like stronger in this. In this, the patchouli is in the middle, you guys. So in the original, the patchouli is in the top and in the base. In this version, you get vanilla, vetiver, and orris in the base. Orris is like a powdery note. In the original, you had iris in the top. This smells amazing to me, and I'm not gonna buy the original Chanel Chance because to me this smells better and it's higher oil concentration than the original, which is an Eau de Toilette. It smells exactly like Chanel Chance, the original, only stronger and more beautiful, a little bit more powdery in the dry down. So yeah, this is Woody Hyacinth inspired by Chanel Chance. So yeah, you guys, now it's time to get into the perfumes that I hauled, I bought. I have so many exciting ones to share with you guys. You guys, I can't wait. Okay, let's jump right into it. I don't know, you guys, I have so many good ones here. I don't know, you guys, have so many good ones. I think I'm going to start with, no, I don't want to get, so I have so many good ones, you guys. I don't know where to get started. So you guys, the first perfume that I bought is something that one of my lovely subscribers told me about. So she told me that she gets tons of compliment on this fragrance, you guys, and it's got like amazing projection and sillage. Obviously, this brand tends to make beast mode fragrances. We all know that. This is none other than Jardin Exclusif by Mancera. This one stole my heart at first sniff. So of course it comes in the typical Mancera pouch here. So this is like the newer cap, the magnetic cap. It's a magnetic cap, which I much prefer to the twist tops they used to have. So this is what it looks like, you guys. Oh my goodness. I really don't have to spray this. I shouldn't spray this because I can smell it like out here. This is like a beast, you guys. It's a very fruity, powdery, sweet, musky, citrus, like fresh white floral, caramel, woody, animalic kind of fragrance. This opens with a bunch of delicious notes, you guys. Oh my goodness. There's pear in the opening, which you know is very, very feminine kind of fruity note. And there's caramel in here. There's peach in here. There's blackcurrant, you guys. You know how I feel about blackcurrant. It's that juicy burst of fruitiness. Then there's Sicilian orange and there's green apple in the opening. There's lemon. So there's like a bit of nice like citrus in there. I like the fact that there's lemon and Sicilian orange in here. Sicilian orange, by the way, is super amazing in fragrances. There's something very fresh about this fragrance, you guys. I know where that comes from. It comes from the ambergris in the middle. It's like a fresh, juicy type fragrance. It has something very light about it, but it's a monster in projection. but that ambergris and that black currant in the opening and the ambergris in the middle really lifts this fragrance and makes it juicy and kind of fresh, like a burst of juicy freshness, you know. Ambergris adds that freshness, you know, almost aquatic like, marine like freshness to fragrances, which I adore. So there's ambergris in the middle with a few beautiful floral notes like jasmine, rose, and violet. Violet's kind of powdery. This is a powdery fragrance also. In the base you get the three best base notes, you guys. There's vanilla, there's sandalwood, and there's musk. Musk adds that sexiness, you know, to fragrances. Musk is very edgy. So thank you for recommending this to me, to my lovely subscriber. Love you for that. This is why I want to hear from you guys. You guys comment down below, share your passion with me, share your fragrances with me, tell me about what you're wearing, you know what I mean? If she didn't tell me about this, I wouldn't have probably paid much attention to it. I had heard a couple of times about this, but you guys, I hear about so many fragrances, you know what I mean? Like, I have so many Manceras, and I wasn't going to buy another Mancera, but this sounded super amazing. And then I read up some more reviews and I realized that this was something that had to be in my collection, you guys. Mancera continues to impress me with some of their fragrances. This is Jardin Exclusif by Mancera. Next, I have the latest release from the house Moogler, you guys. This is Moogler Angel Ice Star, you guys. This is the latest release from the house. Oh my goodness, I'm so glad I got this. I wasn't going to buy this, you guys, because I have Angel Nova, which is also kind of a fruity, tropical, summery fragrance, so I wasn't going to buy this one. Look at this beautiful bottle, you guys. I love their bottles, really beautiful. I've heard so many of my lovely fellow creators on YouTube talk about this, like Abby and Chantal, I believe, and few others. I'm sorry if I forgot your names. Like, I know many of you talked about this fragrance and really, you know, wanted to get this because it's the latest release. This is an eau de toilette, by the way, concentration, not an eau de parfum, but which doesn't really take away from it. Actually, it's quite strong. Oh, you guys, this one is so tropical. How can I say? Smells like a tropical fruit smoothie. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Cruz del Sur 2 by Xerjoff. It also has that fresh tropical fruit smoothie type vibe, you know. I can definitely smell the pineapple in here, you guys, and I can smell the coconut. It doesn't get any summerier and more tropical than this. As a girl who was born in a tropical place, you guys, this touches my heart. It touches my heart. I love that tropical pineapple-y, coconutty vibes in here. Very sweet, very fruity, very tropical coconut, vanilla, and lactonic kind of fragrance. So this has pineapple, coconut water, vanilla, praline, and patchouli, you guys. It doesn't get any more delicious and tropical and summery than that. Oh my goodness, that pineapple and coconut water, those are the two that just puts this fragrance over the top. Oh wow. It gives me like pina colada vibes with the lactonic, but it smells more like a fresh tropical fruit smoothie than a pina colada, kind of like Cruz del Sur. If you ask me, this was one of the best summer releases this year. Really, you gotta have this in your collection. Look at the beautiful bottle. By the way, I'm glad that they got rid of the bottles you couldn't stand up. Like these new versions, you can actually stand up on your vanity. And I love the ombre kind of effect they have going on here. I hear this one and Angel or Crozier smell very, very similar. So if you guys have the other one, don't buy this one, or vice versa. Even the bottles look very, very similar. I was gonna buy that one, but then I bought this and now I don't need that one. I don't think I'm gonna add that one to my collection. Bottles you couldn't. I believe Angel or Crozier had the older bottle design. Yeah, you guys, a must have in your collection for this summer. This is Angel Ice Star. Next, I have another tropical beauty here. I have been dying to get this one since I've been hearing everybody and their dog talk about it. This one is Kajal Lamar. I had to have this because this is a gorgeous tropical type of fragrance with that beautiful pineapple note in it, you guys. You say pineapple, I'm gonna jump on it. You know what I'm saying? I love the note of pineapple because it just really makes fragrances very beautiful and tropical and juicy. So yeah, look at the box, you guys. I don't know, can you see the box? So yeah, let me open it up. The bottle is even more gorgeous, you guys. I'm gonna spray this one, although I don't really necessarily have to spray this one. It's pretty strong. So let me spray it. Oh yeah, the atomizer is really good. Did you see that? This is so good. I can smell the pineapple. Pineapple in here isn't as strong and prominent as the pineapple in the Angel Ice Star. It's not as like fruity as Angel Ice Star. This has other notes that are coming through with pineapple, kind of standing shoulder to shoulder with pineapple without letting the pineapple shine all that much. This is a very fruity, sweet, fresh, tropical, amber, rose, musky, vanilla, and kind of aromatic fragrance. Like I said, the pineapple isn't the star in this fragrance. It's equal with the other notes. The rose in here, I feel, stands shoulder to shoulder with the pineapple and the other notes. Like, so pineapple is there, you smell the pineapple, but it's not as pineapple-y as the Angel Ice Star. So in the opening, you get that juicy pineapple and you get some juicy red berries. There's green apple, there's coriander and cardamom. So it's kind of like spicy too in the opening, which I think is what moderates that pineapple-ness in the opening. And in the middle, you get that beautiful rose, you guys, which I feel like stands, you know, equal with like the opening fruity notes like pineapple. In the middle, you get two type of high quality rose notes in here, you guys. There's Bulgarian rose and Turkish rose. Bulgarian rose is the most expensive rose oil, and the Turkish rose is amazing too. So like I said, the rose in here is quite prominent because the star in this fragrance, in my opinion, are the two rose notes, the Bulgarian and the Turkish rose. You can smell the pineapple, it gives it that tropical touch, but it's not the star. And helping that rose to shine are jasmine and magnolia in the middle, you guys. Those are gorgeous notes, as you know. So the florals in this fragrance, you know, really shine through as well as the fruity notes. In the base, you get a bunch of typical base notes like vanilla. There's a good dose of vanilla, which makes it sweet. There's amber, there's moss, there is cedar, there's cashmere wood, and there's musk. It almost creates an incensey vibe, the notes in here towards the base. I don't know, it must be a mixture of the rose notes with one or two of the base notes. I heard so many talk about the pineapple note, but to me, the pineapple isn't the star in this fragrance. The rose shines right through with pineapple kind of shoulder to shoulder. This is Kajal Lamar. Next, I have another one from Kajal, of course. I couldn't resist, you guys, because if I get Lamar, I had to get this. Of course, it's none other than Kajal De Haab, you guys. Had to have this one as well. These oriental perfumes always get me. Tropical oriental fragrances, yes, give me more. So here is the bottle. It looks very similar to Lamar. Beautiful, beautiful bottles. I really love these bottles, by the way. This is Dahab, like I said. So this one is also kind of tropically fruity type fragrance like Lamar. But let's see the difference. This one, if you ask me, guys, is fruitier and more tropical than Lamar, because Lamar only has that pineapple note sort of being bossed around by the rose notes in there, you know what I'm saying? Whereas in this, the tropical fruit note in here really shines through, and it's one of my favorite tropical fruit notes. You guys know which one it is. I'll give you a minute. I'll give you a minute. Which one is my favorite tropical fruit note? Dun, 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 dun. It's passion fruit. This is a very fruity, fresh, musky, tropical, sweet, ambery, powdery, woody, green, citrus kind of scent. So it has a very crisp citrus fresh opening with the bergamot and green apple. And in the middle, you get that beautiful passion fruit note. So that passion fruit note is the star in this fragrance, you guys. I mean, it really makes this very fruity, very tropical, very juicy. Anytime there's passion fruit or pineapple or something in there, I jump on that fragrance. I'm still looking for more fragrances with passion fruit notes, you guys. I love passion fruit. It's a lot more tropical and like deliciously fruity. Tropical fruitiness is very much more prominent in Dahab than in Lamar, in my opinion. Because in Lamar, the florals kind of moderate the tropical fruity aspect of it. I love both of them, Lamar and Dahab, but if you ask me to pick one, it would be this one. This opens with crisp green apple and bergamot, you guys. So it's a very crisp citrus type of opening, and then it gives right away into that gorgeous passion fruit note, you guys, which is the star of this fragrance. And then there is a cedar and coriander in the middle. And the coriander is right in the background, really, not at all. You can't even pick it up very much. In the base, you get the typical base notes like musk, amber, and patchouli. Very beautiful, tropical, fruity scent, you guys. This is Dahab by Kajal. While I'm on this summer tropical kind of a vibe here, I'm going to talk about a very exciting release from a very exciting fragrance house. It's one of my favorite fragrance houses, you guys, and it's well known for its musky fragrances. Of course, it's Narciso Rodriquez, you guys. This is the latest release from the house. This is Narciso Ombre, you guys. Oh my goodness. When I saw this, I had to get it, you guys. I had to get it. You guys know how much I love Narciso Rodriquez fragrances. Look at this bottle, you guys. Let's try this. You guys, the reason why I got this fragrance is because of those opening notes. Oh my goodness. There's frangipani and ylang ylang in this fragrance, you guys. I'm really glad this house did something different like this, you guys, because this is different for the house, you know. They don't have a tropical musky fragrance in their portfolio. This is my new favorite from this house. My favorites used to be Narciso by Narciso and Narciso Rouge. I actually used to recommend Narciso Rouge for those who wanted to ease into the fragrance note musk. As an introductory musk fragrance, I used to recommend Narciso Rouge because the musk in it isn't so strong. You know, it was really nice. It blends well with the rose note in there and everything. So, but I think this is gonna be my recommendation now. Don't get me wrong, musk is there in here and it's the like top accord. However, because of those tropical floral notes in here, the musk is very soft somehow. I would actually recommend this for those who don't want Narciso by Narciso or Narciso for Her, for example. Those are very strong in musk. The yellow florals really soften this up and gives that beautiful, gorgeous tropical vibes to this fragrance. It's a very musky, floral, powdery, woody, amber, yellow floral, white floral, sweet, vanilla kind of fragrance, you guys. It opens with that gorgeous frangipani and ylang ylang. Like I said, that's the reason why I bought this fragrance, you guys. And then there are a bunch of white floral notes in the opening as well. And in the middle, you get, as usual, in a lot of the Narciso fragrances, that big dose of musk. And then there's amber in the middle. And in the base, you get a big dose of vanilla, cedar, and cashmere. Beautiful fragrance, you guys. Really, I am so happy that Narciso Rodriquez went in this direction, added something different to their portfolio. This is definitely different from what they've released so far. Beautiful tropical musk fragrance, which is very rare. This should be in your summer. This should be one of your summer fragrances this summer, you guys. This is Narciso Ombre. Next, I have another beautiful summer fragrance that I'd been meaning to get for a very long time, but somehow I kept forgetting. Finally got around to doing it, you guys. This one is something that I hear so much about, actually. This is Dolce Garden by Dolce & Gabbana. This one is a gorgeous summertime fragrance. I think this is a summer must-have if you ask me. And again, I bought this fragrance because there's frangipani in it, you guys. Oh my God. You guys know how I feel about frangipani. So let me spray it first. This one, I know it's called Dolce Garden, but I don't really smell a garden of flowers like a typical English rose garden type of smell. No, it's not that. Not like a regular garden of flowers. This smells more to me like I'm on a tropical island, you guys. Oh, really? This is a very tropical island appropriate fragrance, honestly. This has coconut in it. This has frangipani. Very, very tropical island type fragrance. It's a very floral, vanilla, coconut, sweet, tropical, citrus, lactonic, nutty, and fruity fragrance, you guys. It opens with magnolia, neroli, and mandarin orange, which I think is beautiful. The magnolia, you know, magnolia is a beautiful white floral, you guys. Neroli is like a white floral with a citrusy touch to it. Mandarin orange, I think, is the best one in this fragrance. Bergamot would have been too sharp, like of a citrus for this fragrance. In the middle, you get that beautiful frangipani and ylang ylang, you guys. The reason I bought this fragrance, and then there's coconut in the middle. Ylang ylang and frangipani with coconut. It doesn't get any more tropical island-like than that. Beautiful. And in the base, you get that sandalwood, creamy sandalwood with beautiful big dose of vanilla and with a hint of almond. So it has a slight bit of nuttiness in this fragrance from the almond in the base, which really adds that like additional layer to this fragrance. Beautiful sort of tropical summery fragrance. If you ask me, there's coconut, the frangipani, and ylang ylang. Those are the notes that make this fragrance. Of course, the vanilla really helps as well. The sandalwood with that creamy sensual touch. Dolce Garden by Dolce & Gabbana. Next, I have a fragrance that I love and adore. It's actually a fragrance that my friend here on YouTube, Frances, from Happiness Sparkles, introduced me to. She introduced this fragrance to a lot of us, you guys, and I'm so grateful because it's one of the most beautiful vanilla scents ever, really. It's not as talked about as it should be. Well, one of the reasons being it's actually discontinued. You can still find this, but it's a little harder to find. And Frances, of course, being the sweet, lovely person she is, she actually helped me hunt this down on Amazon, you guys. I'm so glad I got my hands on it. This is D Squared Want, you guys. This is a beautiful, beautiful vanilla fragrance. I actually hauled the pink version of this, the D Squared Want Pink, in my last haul. I will link it up here and down in the description box. And Frances, of course, introduced me to that one as well. And by the way, check out her channel, you guys. She's really cute. She's very calming to watch. She's super sweet. If you want to have a chill time watching a sweet lady talk about fragrances and handbags and stuff, please check out her channel. I will link it down in the description box. So this is what the bottle looks like, you guys. Oh my God, this cap. It's a monster, but it's huge. You know what it reminds me of? A billiard ball, you know? You could probably knock someone out with this. Anyway, look at that juice color, you guys. Isn't that lovely? I mean, you know it's going to be an amazing vanilla when you see that type of juice color. So let me spray this. This is one of the most beautiful vanillas I've ever smelled. It's a very vanilla, powdery, woody, rose, citrus, floral, soft, spicy, warm, spicy, and sweet fragrance, you guys. It's got a huge, humongous dose, not one dose, 2 doses of vanilla actually in the base, which makes it a very beautiful vanilla scent. So it opens with ginger, pink pepper, and mandarin orange. Does it get any better than that? Ginger's got that zing, and then pink pepper is that beautiful, like sparkly, bright, spicy note, you guys, which invokes thoughts of falling in love, apparently feelings of falling in love. Mandarin orange is the best citrus in this fragrance, in my opinion, because it complements the vanilla in there so well. Now, for example, bergamot wouldn't have, you know what I'm saying, or lemon or grapefruit or any other citruses. Mandarin orange has that beautiful sweetness that goes really well with vanilla. In the middle, you get that gorgeous heliotrope. It's a powdery purple floral note, which really adds a feminine touch to fragrances. And then in the middle, you also get the damask rose, and then there's neroli as well. Neroli is a white floral with a citrusy, like, nuance to it. And then in the base, you get that 2 huge doses of vanilla, you guys. Not just 1 dose, but 2 doses of vanilla with woody notes, This is such a beautiful vanilla. It's one of the best vanillas I've ever smelled. This is Want D Squared. So last I have 3 fragrances from a perfume house that I don't know why it took so long for me to explore, you guys. It's such a beautifully amazing fragrance house. It's not being talked about as much on YouTube as it should be. You know, there are certain fragrance houses that get talked about a lot. And this one, being as amazing as it is, I'm surprised that some of the larger YouTube channels don't talk about them as much. Probably because this particular house doesn't do as much influencer marketing as some of those other niche fragrance houses. It's none other than Amouage, of course. The first one I have from the house is Lilac Love by Amouage. You guys, look at this. Look at how feminine and beautiful that bottle is. Oh my goodness. I have been dying to get this fragrance for a very, very long time. And look at that gem. I love the little gemstone, like the little rhinestone there. So this is a very beautifully powdery feminine fragrance, you guys. By the way, if you're not a fan of powdery fragrances, this won't be for you. This is a super feminine powdery fragrance, very girly, very feminine. This has cacao in it with that lilac note, of course. And some people may find that weird or whatever, different. I tell you what, the cacao in here really adds a beautiful dimension to this fragrance, really complements the powdery lilac floral note in the opening, if you ask me. Honestly, you guys, I was dying to buy this fragrance, but then I read some reviews on Fragrantica, you guys. Like, there are some really dramatic people out there. I remember one review said that it smelled like Tootsie Rolls. It smells nothing like Tootsie Rolls, you guys. I think that person said that because there's cacao in this, like cacao powder mixed with that lilac. Maybe it's not for everyone, but it doesn't smell like Tootsie Roll though, you guys. Like, the cacao in here smells like actual cacao, but it's very subtle. It's right underneath the beautiful lilac and other floral notes. It's only there supporting the floral notes. It's not overpowering. But you guys, I'm so glad that it didn't scare me away from buying this fragrance, because it's such a stunning, beautiful, powdery fragrance. So let me spray this one. Like I said, it's a very feminine, powdery fragrance, and that cacao adds that beautiful sort of touch to this fragrance. It's hard to describe. It goes really well with powderiness. Let's just put it that way. It's a very vanilla, sweet, powdery, floral, cacao, white floral, fresh iris kind of fragrance. This opens with a big dose of lilac, that gorgeous purple powdery floral note, you guys. And then there's heliotrope, which is also a purple powdery floral note. And then there are other gorgeous floral notes like gardenia, jasmine, rose, and peony. It's florals all the way through in the opening. Very feminine, very powdery, very floral. And in the middle, you get cacao, tonka bean, and orris, you guys. Orris is a powdery note, and you know that tonka bean is like vanilla, only more intense with more depth. And there's vanilla in the base too, by the way, you guys. So this has a big dose of vanilla, like big accord, vanilla accord. And so that cacao with the tonka bean really adds like a dark vanilla, powdery, chocolatey vibe to this fragrance. Don't think chocolate. It doesn't smell like chocolate just because it's cacao. Cacao adds more like a sweet, powdery touch to already powdery floral notes in there, with a hint of sweet cacao-ness, if that makes sense. And then orris is, of course, another powdery note. So it's powdery all the way through, really. And in the base, you get typical base notes like a huge dose of vanilla. There's sandalwood and patchouli. Sandalwood is the only woody note to put in here because it's such a soft fragrance. Another woody note would have probably thrown it off. Sandalwood is perfect with that sensual creaminess about it. And then that huge dose of vanilla makes it nice and sweet. I had been interested in this fragrance for a very long time, you guys. Actually, a while ago, I heard that this was the signature scent of Oprah Winfrey, and she always smelled good. Amouage Lilac Love, a beautiful, powdery feminine fragrance. Next, I have another very intriguing fragrance from Amouage, you guys. This one is very interesting to say the least. It is a jasmine fragrance, but it's not your typical jasmine, you guys. This one's got an edge, and I'll tell you what that is. This is Amouage Portrayal Woman, you guys. Isn't that the most gorgeous, beautiful bottle ever? You see that duochrome kind of like shift in there? Beautiful bottle. This is a white floral jasmine scent, but it's not your grandma's jasmine. It's not your typical jasmine fragrance. This has got an edge. This is very different. This one is like, how do I put it? It's not spicy, but there's something similar to like a spice in here, and I know where that comes from. I'll get to that in a minute. So this has got a huge dose of jasmine. This is very much a jasmine fragrance. However, this also has tobacco in there and elamai, you guys. I'll tell you what they do. I typically don't like to buy fragrances with the note of tobacco in there. For example, the Kilian Back to Black, I think, has that tobacco note in it, and it usually turns me off. Kind of adds a masculine touch to fragrances typically, usually, but not in this fragrance. Somehow in here, because that jasmine is overwhelmingly feminine and pretty, that tobacco, and with elamai is a piney balsamic sort of fragrance note. It's kind of like there's something sharp about it, like it's like a balsamic piney fragrance note. So elamai sort of adds an interesting twist to this, kind of makes it almost smell like a spicy jasmine, but not really spicy. There's a huge dose of vanilla in the middle, which helps also make it like sweet and moderate that tobacco in there, in my opinion. It's a very simple fragrance composition, you guys. In the opening, you get that huge dose of jasmine, which, by the way, lasts all the way through to the base and stays there throughout the time that this fragrance is on your skin or your clothes. Jasmine is in here through and through. I don't know how they did it, because jasmine is really a huge dose of jasmine is the opening note, but then jasmine kind of stays through, like all the way through. This is jasmine, you know. So in the opening you get a huge dose of jasmine, and in the middle you get tobacco with a huge dose of vanilla, which sweetens it up and kind of moderates the tobacco, and the elamai in the base adds that like interesting twist to it, gives it almost like a spicy touch. It's not spicy. It comes from the piney balsamicness of elamai, but almost smells a little bit spicy. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a spicy jasmine. Very interesting, very different. I wouldn't say, however, this is a safe blind buy, because some people don't like the note of tobacco, even elamai with that sort of piney balsamic touch. People might not like, although the jasmine and vanilla really moderate them. You never know. So I would get a sample of this first, get your notes on it first. I don't have a jasmine like this in my collection. Very interesting. This is why I love this house, Amouage. This is Portrayal Woman by Amouage. Last but not least is another Amouage beauty. This one is something that I had read a lot about, and this one has some fragrance notes that I typically don't gravitate toward. But I wanted to step out of my comfort zone because I read so many good things about this fragrance. This is Amouage Journey Woman, you guys. Watch this bottle. Look at how luxe this is, this velvet. It's very luxe, and I love the color of the bottle. It's beautiful maroon red. This one, you guys, has osmanthus and apricot and honey. Now, those are all fragrance notes usually I don't gravitate toward. So osmanthus actually smells like apricot. So apricot and osmanthus really go well together. And there is, of course, honey is another one that's like that really complement each other. Those three notes really complement each other. This one, you guys, typically I don't find osmanthus that appealing, but in this one I really love it because there's something very fashionable about this fragrance, something very edgy about it, very contemporary kind of fragrance. It's a very floral, sweet, fruity, honey, powdery, tobacco, warm, spicy, fresh, spicy, lactonic, yellow floral kind of fragrance, you guys. While I don't like osmanthus, there are a couple of floral notes that I adore in this fragrance. There's mimosa and jasmine. In the opening, you get osmanthus, apricot, nutmeg, cardamom, and jasmine. So that nutmeg really complements the apricot and the osmanthus actually. The jasmine adds a nice soft touch to the opening. But like something about osmanthus and apricot is very, I don't know how to put it. You know how apricots smell, you guys. And in the middle, you get a good dose of honey, which I feel complement the osmanthus and the apricot in the opening. And then you get that beautiful mimosa and sambac jasmine. There's jasmine in the opening, there's sambac jasmine in the middle, and then there's cedarwood in the middle. The mimosa is really pretty in here. I think it's a very appropriate fragrance note for this fragrance. That's what gives it this beautiful yellow floral twist to this fragrance. Base is very interesting. There's tobacco in the base, which isn't overpowering at all. There's one other note in the base that I don't typically care for. There's nargamotha, which is cypral oil. Not my cup of tea usually, but then again, it's not very strong in here. It's not cutting through or anything like that. There's saffron in the base as well. And then there's vanilla and musk. Nargamotha or cypral oil is a very earthy, powerful fragrance note. Usually I don't care for it unless it's moderated heavily by other fragrance notes, which I think is the case in this fragrance. It's not like too overpowering. It's not like super earthy at all. It has quite a few fragrance notes that I don't typically go for or typically gravitate toward, but I'm very surprised by how much I like it. Would I say this is my favorite Amouage? No, it doesn't have like my typical notes that I just love, but I am surprised by how much I love this because of the uniqueness, because of the fact that it's outside of my comfort zone and still beautiful. If you are a lover of osmanthus, apricot, honey, mimosa, that sort of fragrance notes, this is the one for you. This is Amouage Journeywoman. So that's it, you guys. That's my huge fragrance haul. Now it's time to find out how to enter the giveaway. So all you have to do is subscribe to my channel, of course, you guys, and give this video a thumbs up. And comment down below. Let me know what your favorite summer fragrances have been this summer. What are you wearing this summer? Because I really want to know, you guys, because I want to share this passion with you guys. I want to have a dialogue. So don't forget to comment, you guys, on my videos. I really love it when you guys let me know your thoughts. If my lovely subscriber hadn't told me about Jardin Exclusif, I probably would have gone another year without getting it. You know what I mean? Whatever you guys want to talk about, whether fragrances, beauty, or fashion, or whatever the topic, please talk to me because I loved hearing from you guys. So I'll be giving away Spicy Orchid, the perfume inspired by Tom Ford Black Orchid, of course. And I will pick a winner and announce in a week from today. So I hope you enjoyed this video, you guys. If you did, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And ring that notification bell so you will be notified every time I upload something fun like this. So I will see you guys in my next video.